about this, so I decided to come out here. Probably just gonna stay in the grass for this. I have it looking down. So, people and, other people, this is probably similar to the other videos I made when I talked about certain things, but, I've had friends in the past, or I've met people in the past. I don't even want to say friends, really. And I've learned a lot from people that pretty much they just liked my presence. They liked what they could get from me. They liked something that they felt from me, maybe some way that I filled them, made them feel happy, or whether it be secure or frickin' a lot of times people will just kind of use you, or maybe even use themselves just to have some type of attention, or just for you to be around, really for no real reason. It's just something selfish within them, something they don't understand themselves. But make no mistake, them people are not doing it. Most of the time when someone does something like that, it's intentional, and they're not really that great of a person or a role model to their own self. Not to say they can't change, but most of the time when that's like that, it's self-endowed. I know other times it's just from who's ever been guiding them or not guiding them correctly, from whatever way. But some people see something that isn't right as well. So it's best to just not waste your time. A lot of people, they'll say you're strong for putting up with it and dealing with it. Well, I say that's the weakest route. To put up with someone means that you show no self-love. Not only that, but you're okay with settling for less. You're technically telling yourself that it's okay for people, or for me, to deal with this stuff. It's okay for people to be this way towards me, and I'm just not going to show any emotion, and I'm just going to act unbothered because I'm so strong. You're wasting valuable time on something that is worthless. The thing of it is, it feels empowering. It feels like you're powerful. But if you spend all your life trying to convince yourself that you're strong, you're never going to be strong. So that's why, to me, that's actually pretty important, especially for younger people. You got to learn this early. Otherwise, it's just going to walk all over you. You're going to walk all over yourself. It's not even the people that's walking on you. You're letting them do that to you. You're letting them change your views. You're letting them make you feel like that this is okay and it's normal. And if it's not normal, then I'm just going to glorify the fact that it's not normal. And that's how it is, and I could take it. They're like this, but it's okay. This guy's, when he gets like this, he's okay. If you like the idea of glorifying someone just because they can get upset and start yelling and cussing or whatever they do, but this he does this though. Or maybe you're just someone that likes to mess with people. But, like I said, you can only empower yourself for so long until you come to the realization that you were just trying to delay the the point in which that you crumble, that you're more sad and lonely, and you're not as powerful as you thought you were. So that's why I say all of that is a waste. There, you get nothing out of it. The only thing you can truly get out of it is by becoming better, not worse. Because I just explained how that could make you worse. I know a lot of people, when they say stuff like that, they just say that and they don't explain to you their point of view a lot of the times. I'm very big on that though, and I don't like it. You know, I've been a victim of this my dang self, pretty much like everybody else. I had a friend, I've recently stopped being friends with him a couple of times in the past as well, because he liked to ignore me. What he'd do, he would ignore my respect for me. And he wouldn't take me as seriously. He would talk to me differently. I mean, this has happened to me a lot, especially when I was younger. You know, somebody I used to hang out with, he would treat others differently than he would me, especially when I was around him. He would treat them better than me, and he would act like I'm some type of outcast, or, and me and him were family, so it was a little complicated. But what I'm saying is that I understand how something like that can be hard, because you don't have the courage sometimes for yourself, not only for the other person. So there might just be something that you want out of it. But I'm here to tell you that what you want is nothing. You don't want anything out of it. You truly don't. Because that's not what you're looking for. You're not looking to be friends with anyone. You're not even really looking to be friends with yourself at that point. You're just looking in the wrong direction. There's another direction for you. There's another path for you. You don't have to keep chasing the same path or the same feelings. You're not ready for that yet. So just try to focus on something else. Don't let yourself become distracted. You know, I talk about this a lot, distractions. Most things are distractions. But yeah, and we can talk about it more, We can talk about how people like to degrade others. We could talk about how people talk to you as if you're little, to mistaking themselves as also not being little. In their mind, they're bigger than you. But people that do stuff like that, and they have to joke around and talk crap about you and laugh at you and make you just seem like a joke, we all know that they're actually the joke. We know that already. And frankly, they are in they feel just as bad as you do. When they pick on you or something, trust me, there's something within them that they do not see, and it's going to destroy them if they don't fix it. Whether it's going to be physically or mentally, they are going to go to a place where, they're not going to want to be there. And it's funny, though, sometimes how people like that do succeed. But there's nothing wrong with that either. It can suck to see someone that's just such a scumbag prosper and be in such a good spot. But the thing of it is that no matter if they're a good person or a bad person in their ways or whatever, that doesn't determine what position they have in life. So you can't really look at it like that. Like I say, definitely got to keep yourself open to things that you normally wouldn't want to. Things that you would want to block from your mind. You want to be able to look into the negative and still look at the foundation of what this negative person or situation has. You want to still be able to explore what it is. Because, see, we love to look at positive. We love to be there. We're so comfortable. But once something negative comes, we close off. We close ourselves off. We close ourselves off to what it is. And we don't learn nothing from it. And we don't bother to look back on ourselves and question ourselves. This is a common mistake many people make, and it's such a simple mistake to fix. Things will never be perfect either. You're not going to get to where you want to be just because you want to run, just because you want things to be different, and you cry, and you complain, and you just wish something was different. See, you got to let time go. Not go like that, not let go, but you just have to let time be what it is. You have to be able to live in these moments. And the thing of it is, you do live in these moments. You can't stop that as much as you want to. But sometimes we do have to start. We got to start running first. We got to start life running away from stuff, wanting things not to be the way they are, feeling terrible about it. We all got to start somewhere. We do. And you can grow from that. You can grow from feeling that. But if you feel yourself losing some type of hope. Now, thing of it is, losing hope, losing happiness, losing time. I know that stuff feels terrible. I know it feels like it's the end. But honestly, losing that stuff is in some other ways good for you. And it's good mainly because if you're able to still pay attention, if you're able to still continue to live, then that shouldn't really be that big of an issue. The thing of it is, it's really not. So just how you want positivity, how you want things to be the way you want them, you should want things to be the way you want them no matter what. You should want that for yourself. Just don't chase after it too hard. Don't pray for an easier life. You want to be able to survive and have the strength to deal with the harder things. And if you feel like you don't have that strength, sometimes you just gotta wait it out. As crappy as that might be. But sometimes, well, the patient ones are usually the ones you gotta worry about. So, if you got any type of patience, distract yourself, do something you like, get your alone time when you can, think about something, play something in your mind, stuff like that, make time for the little things, have little good times. Don't always try to chase after those big, long times, because if you're trying to have a good time all the time, you're going to frustrate yourself more knowing that you're not going to be able to do that anyway. Because even if you did have all that freedom, you're still not always going to be able to be free. Freedom is only for that moment. It's only for those moments. But once that's over, it's over. And just because that's over, it don't mean that you get to act out and be rude and discredit yourself, because you've made real improvement. You just gotta learn how to just not have fun all the time. And that's something that happens to people that get too wrapped up in stuff like this. They manipulate themselves, they hypnotize themselves. You trick yourself into believing something that's just going to work against you. Fun is only for a little bit of time. Maybe that one night. Fun is never meant to be all the time. So you have to be responsible enough. You have to discipline yourself enough to know that this is a good time. But if you keep having a good time, even after knowing that you never had freedom, all it's going to do is really just, you're technically just putting yourself in a bad position. That's really all you're doing. You're distracting yourself. See, you can distract yourself in a positive way as well. See, this is where it really comes down to. You think you can distract yourself or be distracted by negativity, but you can be just as distracted by being too positive. There ain't no amount of happiness or positivity that you get. Oh yeah, I'm home free now. See, this is the thing. Instead of believing that you're free, you should try to focus more on what you can do in your free time. Don't try to just narrow in and say, oh, I can do what I want now. I can do this now. Freak, what happened then? You're still focusing on what put you in this, where you were in the first place. Celebrate that. There's nothing wrong with that. Just, for goodness sake, don't carry it out for months and months afterwards. Be grateful. Be happy. Don't become someone who just looks at life like it doesn't mean anything after you get your freedom, your so-called freedom, whatever. You don't want to put yourself in that position, because then you're really going to be miserable. Then you trust and believe me, positivity could eat you up just as bad. And that's something a lot of people don't get, especially when they grow up in a bad environment. They always wished for things to be better. But the thing of it is, you don't really know what's better for you. That's why you need to focus on becoming better, doing things that you know for sure are right, making sure it's right. Not just because it feels right, not because someone told you it was, but because you figured it out. You thought about it, you went back into your thoughts, you looked for a mistake, you understood something that you didn't see before. Maybe you didn't think about this correctly. So you go back and say, oh crap, I didn't apply this right. Let me go back and think about what I can do. Do I got to get rid of this one feeling, this one thought in my mind, this one belief? What do I replace it with? What do I change it with? And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if that should be an easy one. That should be so easy. I shouldn't even have to say it at that point. You might as well just go back into the video or something. You got to be willing to find it. You got to be willing to look. If you wanted freedom so bad, if you wanted to be free so bad, if you wanted to have free will within your mind and be in a good place, it starts there. It starts within. It don't start out here where you can see everything through your eyes and feel everything on the surface. It starts within yourself. So if you can pay more attention to what's inside, then you will definitely find yourself in a better place later. Things be bad now, things be good later. And no. That's how that works. That's how it works for pretty much everything. Just try not to get too caught up in it. Don't become selfish. Don't become too frustrated. Like I say, let those be mistakes. Let those, those times where you've gotten angry, where you've gotten frustrated, where you thought of something, you forgot about it, you felt something that you didn't want to feel ever again, and it got to you. Let those be mistakes. Let them be something that you're able to look at and identify as it doesn't need to be with you. It's a bad trait. It's a bad personality. It's a bad feeling. I don't need it. It's only ruining me. It's not helping me. Just be calm with yourself. Don't yell at yourself in your head. Don't frickin' hit yourself, beat yourself up. Sometimes you do gotta hit yourself and go through that a little and yell. Hey, whatever you gotta do. Everyone's got their problems. But as long as you're dealing with them. If you're going to go ahead and do all that stuff, if you're going to go out of your way to do all that dumb stuff, get angry and whatever and cry, at least think about your problem. At least put some feeling into it and put some self-care into it. Put yourself in a better position. Stop putting up with the weaker position. Why are you just going to keep putting yourself back in a bad position? You'd rather start off in a good position so that way, at least if you're upset, you got something to lean back on. And you might say again, I don't know what that is. Like I said, look for it. Stop making excuses. Stop, making it to where you can't think about something you want to do. That's technically what you're telling yourself. Oh, I can't do it. I can't think of nothing. I don't feel nothing. That's it.